This video will go over the stacking procedure in MaxIm DL. This is monochrome stacking, not color yet. So what we'll be doing is using pictures from September 27th, 2015 in the BSU Observatory's database, and we will be stacking images of the Ring Nebula and MaxIm M92. Each filter will be stacked separately. So we have blue, clear, red, and green. So let's start with the clear. And we do this with the calibrated images. So we have clear Ring Nebula images. There are 50 of them. I'll go to MaxIm DL, and I have a choice. I could open them all up, but I don't have to. I'll show you both ways. The first time I won't open them up. I'll go Process, Stack, Add Files. All right, it's already there, but just to show you, I would be in September 27th, Ring Nebula, clear, calibrated. Click one of them, hit Control A to select them all, open. They'll appear in a folder here, and if I click the plus, they are a list. Notice none of these things are checked, and they shouldn't be. Sometimes this can cause confusion and errors later, so I just don't use any of it. Go to Align. So this allows you to see any of the images. It will open them individually, not all at once. And you can click in the list to view one of them, or you can use the up and down arrows, down, 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 up, 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 up. Or you can use these arrows for previous and next to see all the images. We want to look at them all because we want to reject ones that are of lower quality and very particular types of lower quality. Let's see if I can find one that's not so good. So these all look nice. The stars are pretty round, which is what you want, and small, also what you want. Here's an example of one we don't want. The stars are no longer round, they're line or egg-shaped, and we don't want that. That means that details in this diagonal direction are going to be smeared, and they will ruin our final stack. We don't want that. If I go up, you can see the difference. The stars here are round. The stars here are not. We're going to reject that picture by unchecking it. And we're looking for that. We're also looking for example, this one. You see how the stars here are small and then the next one is big? That happens. It's like a mirage-like effect in the atmosphere that astronomers call seeing. Basically, when the atmosphere moves above the telescope, it causes the image of the star to change position. So the middle of the star actually moves around from the perspective of the camera, and that makes the star look bigger, and it smears out some of your nice details that you would otherwise get. So we don't want that. If I go up, you can see small, big, small, big. Let's get rid of that one. There's nothing you can do about that except be in space, really. Down. Oh, here's another bad one. That one's not round either. Ooh. That's also not round. Had some vibration. This happens when people are moving around a lot on the floor below us, for example. That one looks big and eggy. Ooh, very eggy. And whenever I want to reject one, that one actually was also eggy. Whenever I want to reject one, I just uncheck it in the list. And I'm just clicking the down arrow to move between them. I think there was another one in there I'm going to want to get rid of, but I'll wait a second. That one's not round, not round, not round. Ooh. That one's not round either. Okay. And now that I've gotten rid of a bunch of them that were obviously not as good, I'm going to right-click one of the ones that I unchecked. And then I'm going to go down to Remove Disabled Items. All right, so now I've shortened my list quite a bit. I'm going to go through them again because sometimes it's easier to spot ones that are mediocre when you've gotten rid of the really bad ones. These all look pretty good. I'll point this out. You see this? You don't have to get rid of ones that have something like that. Those are usually cosmic rays. Something happened in space that made a high energy photon of light, or several of them, and it hit the sensor. Not a big deal. It will come out in the wash after you are done combining the images. This will end up averaging out in some way. You'll see. Okay, let's keep going. You know what? This one is not round either. You can see it a lot in this star if I go between these two images, so I'm going to uncheck that. I'll decide on that one in a minute. Oh, wow. Yeah, that one is very eggy. Let's get rid of that. I will again right-click one of the ones that I unchecked and hit Remove Disabled Items. And this time I will start from the bottom of the list and go up for a change in perspective and just go through them all again. Now some of them are a wee bit bigger. That one is not round either. I will uncheck that. But I don't want to reject everything. I want to keep a decent amount of total exposure time. It's okay. You know, that first one isn't quite round either. I'm going to uncheck that. Right-click, remove disabled items. And I think now I probably have it down to the best pictures that we've got in the clear filter. Just a quick scroll through. See if there's anything obviously bad that I missed. I mean, they're very slightly unround, but I think they're going to be okay. It's a slight difference. All right. I will then go to combine. There are all these combine methods. I usually use median, but I'll briefly describe what we've got. So sum is exactly what it sounds like. All the pictures are just added together. So if the first pixel in each picture has a brightness of 100 and there are 5 pictures, they each get added up and you end up with a total brightness of 500. So a sum doesn't actually get rid of anything. If there are flaws in the image, they are definitely going to still be there. In the final version, it'll still have the noise, but the idea is that the brightness of whatever you're taking a picture of will overpower the brightness of the noise, so you won't really notice the noise so much as long as the object is displayed at a reasonable brightness. Average, again, exactly what it sounds like. If you have 2 pictures and the first pixel in each picture has a brightness, so one of them has 100 and one of them has a 200 brightness, then the result will be 150, the average of the two. Median chooses the middle value for each pixel among all the images. So if you have 5 pictures, and we're talking about the first pixel in each one, and you have 100, 110, 120, 130, and 140, it will pick the 120 because it is at the middle. Sigma Clip is supposed to do the same thing as, well, sort of a combination of average and median. So first, it looks for brightnesses that are way out of line for a particular pixel. So if you have 2 pixels, one pixel in 3 different images, and in 2 of the images the pixel values are 55 and 56, but in the other image the pixel value is 1000. It will reject the 1000 and it will only average the 55 and the 56. So it's a combination of the two. Sounds like it would be very good. In practice, I don't find that it does a better job of smoothing out noise than the median does. SD Mask and Drizzle are computing intensive. I don't use them. I find that they don't seem to give me better results than the more simple versions. But feel free to play around. I'm going to use median. It seems to do a really good job of minimizing the noise that I get in the background. So I will click that. Your format here should be float. And I don't usually play with these extra options. You can if you wish to. These are my settings here. These are the default settings. And I'm going to click go. And there you have it. A median combined clear image of the Ring Nebula. And let's just see really quick. So how many pictures is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 23 images. So 11 and a half minutes of exposure time because these were 30 seconds long each. And it looks nice. You actually can see here there's some brightness at the fringe that is kind of difficult to detect. Very cool. And the ring itself is very obvious. I'm just going to mention this quick because I don't think I did before. Your mode should be auto star matching for alignment. So it will match up the star patterns in each image so that you don't end up with a bunch of ring nebulas all over the place when you're stacking the pictures together, because they do move between each picture. I'm going to hit close. And let's play with this a little bit, just a little, so you can see. I'm going to make the background brighter. And when you do that, more details here and here do pop out. Check it out. Around here, there's a galaxy above it. Very pretty. And if I do this, then you start to see some of the details in the inside of the nebula pop out. Something like that looks pretty good to me. I am going to go to File, Save As. And I want to put this in the Ring Nebulas folder, but not under the clear, because I want to use them all later. I'll call it I'll call it Ring Nebula. I will give it the date, 09/27/2015, clear, stack. All right. And I will close that. You know what? I'm going to just open one of the previous images for a second just to show you something. Just to see the difference here between the quality. So this is one of the original 30-second images, and this is the stacked image. And granted, I did play with this to make it look a little nicer on the screen, but I could do the same thing here, and I'm never going to get anything like what I have with the stacked image. See how noisy it is by comparison? There's a lot less information here than there is here, so it hasn't built up a complete picture of the Ring Nebula. It just has a partial picture of it. This is much more complete. Look at all those little fine details in there. Okay. All right. I am now going to show you the version of this process where we open the images up first. So I'm in the blue folder for the Ring Nebula now. I will hit the Cal for the calibrated images, select them all, and I will just drag them all into MaxIm DL. It's going to open them all up. The blue pictures do tend to look a lot noisier. That's okay. I will go to Process, Stack. Now because I stacked something already, it still has this group in here from before. So that I don't end up with any errors, I'm going to right-click on that and say Remove Items. And then instead of Add Files, I am going to click the down arrow and click Add Images. And it then shows me all of the images that are open in MaxIm DL. I'm just going to say Add All because they're all the ones that I want. And click OK. It's going to warn me that I'm stacking a lot. That's fine. My computer can handle it. Yes. Then I click the plus, and it's the same as before. I want to check each image to make sure it's okay. Notice again, none of these options are checked. I'm going to go to Align. My mode should be Auto Star Matching. This reference image here is the one that I'm looking at when I scroll through the list. So I'm just going to click the arrows and see what kind of quality I've got overall. And you can see it's harder to tell with these because they're so much noisier, but you can see when the stars are a mess. So I will uncheck that one. I think the one before that was also pretty messy. Let's see. Yeah. If I go up and down, you can see here this is round, but the next one, it is not. It's an egg. So I'm going to reject that. Those are also eggs. That's saucers. Those are probably bad too. Those look like eggs. Probably bad, but I'll let it go until the second pass. Alright. And I'm going to right-click on one of the ones that I already rejected and click Remove Disabled Items. And then go back through the list. That one does look bad. I'm going to get rid of it. Eggy stars. We have eggy stars here too. That one's not too bad. Okay. So notice how this one looks different. That's probably not because the picture is very different. It probably has something to do with, yeah, the screen stretch has been played with so that it looks nicer when it's displayed. If I move on to this one, see how it's on medium and the previous one is on manual? That's why it looks different. It's not that the image itself was taken differently. Alright, I'm again going to right-click on one that I unchecked and remove it, and just take one more look through. Some of these are not great, but I might not have much choice because I don't have a lot of images. That one has big stars. These ones are smaller. That one looks a little eggy. I'll get rid of that one. Alright. That's going to be my final list. And I will click Combine. Again, use median, float. I have not changed any of these settings. Go. Alright. Wow, we've got a gradient here, which probably means clouds. Usually when you have something like that, that's what it means. They're also a little bit eggy, the stars. So a lot of these were not quite round. Sometimes you don't have many images to choose from, so there's not much choice. That's why it's actually nice to stack images from multiple nights together, but this is just a quick tutorial. Maybe I'll do that in another one. Alright. Close. I'm going to save this. I'm going to click on that file name that I made before for the clear ones and just replace the C with a B. Now I realize this is nowhere near as high quality as the clear one that I produced before, but that's not as big of a deal for the colors. You get the detail from the clear, and you get color balance from these, so this is going to be more of an issue where we're going to have a bluer background here than over here. Alt-FE to close everything, and then I'll just quickly repeat this process for the red and the green. I'm opening up the calibrated red pictures of the Ring Nebula. Process, stack. Remove the old stack. Add images, add all. OK. Align, auto star matching. And then I click on the first image, and I'm going to look through them again. Ooh, and find the bad ones. I like to use the down arrows better. Down. That one's not so good. Not good, not good. Not bad. Very good, actually. Much better than that one. Maybe I should ditch that one, huh? Okay. Very bad. Good. Little eggy. Right click, remove disabled items. Look through them again. Alright, a few of these are definitely less good than the others. That one. It's a balance between trying to keep exposure time and rejecting ones that are significantly worse. Alright, right click, remove disabled items, and we'll look at it one more time. Ooh, one of those stood out. Is that one, as eggy. That one's a little bit bigger than the others too, but yeah, alright. I'll reject that one too. Combine. Median, go. And there we go. That one looks much nicer than the blue. You can actually see that little galaxy up on the top too. There it is. Alright, close, file, save as. Click on one of the other files I just made and just replace the filter color with R. Alt-FE to close. I'll do the last color, green, the other way. Process, stack. Right-click on the old stack and remove item. Add files. I want to go to the green, calibrated, Ring Nebula files, Control A to select them all, open. Alright, here they all are. Again, nothing was checked. Align. It should be auto star matching, and go through the list, looking for bads like that. And that. That one's bad too. Eggy. Eggy. Right click on a disabled one, remove disabled items. Go through the list again. Sometimes going through the list fast gives you a little bit more perspective about what the best quality looks like. And that first one is not so good. This one is not so good either. Tricky. Sometimes I find myself staring at one star. I keep looking at this one, so I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to look at these little ones instead and see if I think any of the others are no good. Switching it up again, I'm looking at this star now. The stars are changing shape quite a bit. So I don't think that I can reject any of the others. A lot of them are so-so, but none of them seem very bad compared to the rest. Alright, I'm going to hit combine and median, go. And your product tells you whether you made good choices, and this looks pretty nice. Maybe it's a little bit not round in this direction, just a tad, but pretty good. Close. File, save as. Click on one of the other files and just change the name of the filter to V. Save. And just, to get an idea again of how much detail this captured, changing the resolution, brightness and contrast settings, basically. It's pretty good. The stars are pretty round. There's a decent amount of detail in here in the nebula, considering that this is the green filter, and there are a lot fewer green pictures than clear. All right. So all the Ring Nebula pictures are done. If you think you have a handle on how to stack stuff, you can certainly stop watching here. I just might as well quickly go through the other object, which is M92, and stack that. So I will open the clear images of M92. Go to Process, Stack. Right-click on the old stack, Remove Items. Oops. I want to add images because they were open. Add all. OK. Align. Auto star matching. Click on one of those arrows to bring up an image. Go through the list to look for bad ones. Wow. These look nice. I think only that last one is bad. All the stars look nice and round. There was one there that was a little bit different. Yeah, these two, the stars are a little bigger than the others, so since overall they're so good, we might as well reject those ones, but that's it. Yeah, that one's a little bigger too. Oh, you see that? Look. It disappears. There's a cosmic ray for you. Alright. Yeah, those two really are a little bit bigger on average. Okay. Combine. Median. Go. Close. So this is my combined one, and at first glance it may not look too different from one of the originals, but that's because this object is so bright. It's the way it's being displayed. So let me show you. So okay, I'm changing the brightness of the original now, the brightness of the background, so that you can see the noise, as opposed to this one. If I change the background, you don't even see the noise. I mean, I can make it look gray, but it doesn't look grainy like this one does. Let me see if I can make it more obvious than that. See, this has little speckles all over the background. This one does not. It is smooth. And also, the stars themselves are a little bit more obvious. Let's see, what is the best way to show you that? Maybe if I do this. Whoa, too far. So that you can see more of the dim stars. And I'll do the same thing on this one. Whoa. See? You see all these little dim stars that are popping out here that you can't even see them here. So that's the difference. That's what the stack did for us. Now it's okay for me to save this even though I changed this. This doesn't actually change the pixel values. This is just how MaxIm DL displays it to me. So I'll save that. File. Save that stack as M92. This was clear. Put the date in 09/27/2015. Clear stack. Alt FE to close everything. Do the same thing with the blue calibrated M92s. Open by dragging them in. Process. Stack. Remove the old stack. Add images. Add all. OK. Nothing checked. Align. Auto star matching. Click one of them. There it is. And we just look for bad ones. think they're all good. Okay, combine, median, float. No changes. Go. Nice. Close. File. Save as. Click on the old name and replace the filter with the blue B. And then close all. I'm going to open the red calibrated images of M92. Process, stack, right click, remove the old stack, add images, add all, OK, align, auto star matching, click one, showed up over here. And again, just go through the list. That one looks kind of big. Yeah. This one, the stars are significantly bigger. I will uncheck that one. Combine, median, float, go. Okay, close, file, save as. Again, just replace the filter. Letter, Alt FE to close. Same thing for the green. I open all the green calibrated images by dragging them in. Process, stack. Right-click the old stack, remove item, add images, add all, OK. Align, auto star matching. All right. Again, look for bad ones. Ooh, that one's awful. That one too. You see how the stars are all doubled? Something weird happened there. Alright. I'm going to right-click on one of these unchecked ones and remove disabled items to get better perspective, because those two were so bad. Alright. Alright, this one is very eggy. I'm going to uncheck that one. Remove disabled items. Alright, this one's a little bigger, but nothing crazy. You know what? It's a lot bigger than some of them. Gotta make a decision. Yeah, I'll uncheck it. There's just enough here. I can still use the median combine mode. Alright. So I might as well talk about this since I'm here. So the more you have in here, the less noise you'll end up with in the background. It will smooth out more if you have more pictures stacking. But if I include something that is larger, that has larger stars, I'm going to smear out some detail in the images. I have very few. You know what? I'm changing my mind. I'm going to keep it in. I'd rather have less green noise in the background. I don't want my background to look green and speckly. So I'm going to leave that in, even though it's a little bit bigger. We're not looking for the ultra detail of a nebulous cloud, so we'll try it. Combine, median, go. Looks good. It doesn't even look eggy or anything. I'll hit close, file, save as. Click one of the old file names and just change the filter. Alright, Alt FE to close. That's it. That's all the stacking I'm going to do for now. I hope it was useful.